Yes, it's Eureka Moments at Live Your Dreams Africa, 5th edition, and we are. Okay, let me not personalize him, but yes, he is our Adebola Williams, because he's been for us and he's been amazing. Even today, speaking there, it's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure to be here.
Yes, and we want to ask you questions that really make an impact, really make a difference. You know, a lot of times people organize conferences and people just come and speak. The folks attend and they just go back. And you said something during your speech. You said, don't listen and they get depressed. Because it's very possible for you to sit up there and talk to them and they're like, this person has opportunities. He has something. And that's why I love the fact that you connected where the dream started and then actually living the dream. So tell us a little bit about what made you dream.
What made me dream?
Yeah.
I dreamt because that was the only option.
Okay.
I dreamt because in the middle of darkness, you can't change anything with darkness. You can't change your situation by staying in the dark.
Okay.
If you are in the dark, you want to be in the light. Now, it takes you to actually even have the knowledge that where you are could be better.
Okay.
And so perhaps maybe this is the point where I would encourage that we should all encourage our young ones to read. We should all encourage our children to seek knowledge, to be insatiable with their desire for knowledge. Because why I wanted to leave where I was because I was insatiable with knowledge. I always wanted knowledge. I always wanted to know what was happening. I always wanted to know what the world was about, what the world could be. And so because of that, I knew that I could be in a better place.
Okay.
And so I had to go and look for the light, because you can only turn around darkness with light. And so I dreamt because I had seen dreams in books. I had seen dreams by sitting at the foot of those that were older than me. I had heard stories. I had heard people who had gone to the mountains, and people who had traveled around the world, and people who had built businesses, and people who had failed. That's why mentorship is also important. But then I bowed, I stooped to conquer.
Yes.
So you can see that one thing is leading to the other. I was in the dark, I wanted to find light.
Yeah.
But why did I want to find light? Because I had read books and listened to people, and I realized that there was actually more to life than being in the dark.
Yeah.
And then for me to be able to get that knowledge, I had to stoop for those ahead of me, to learn from them. I had to sit at their feet, I had to carry their bags, I had to serve them, so I could glean of their knowledge. And that knowledge was power to me. But all I had was still the information. It was not money. I was not living in a country where government provided you with jobs or gave you a stipend if you don't have a job. The things that I had heard ignited what was already inside me. Because we all carry that thing inside of us. You just need to sharpen it. You just need to strike with another stone, and then it will make fire. And so I struck what was inside of me, what I had heard outside. And then I built that fire that kept burning inside of me. So even if the dark was not going to leave me, I was becoming fire. The darkness had no choice but to wear away as I turned into fire myself. But that came from seeking knowledge. That came from being humble and stooping and serving others so I could get knowledge, not money.
Yeah.
Knowledge. And the more knowledge helped me know how to deal with human beings. And I realized that for you to get through in life, human beings are gatekeepers. So go and build your capacity, go and build your competence, go and build your character, then add it with a good people network.
Good people network.
And then you can actually explode. Your genius, your education, your talent, without persistence, without resilience, without just staying, just pushing, just knocking on the door, just keep pushing. And then why knowledge is important is that sometimes you're breaking down the door, but perhaps if you had knowledge, you just turn a bolt.
True.
So it's both persistence and that knowledge. But the man who doesn't even have the knowledge, if you persist enough, the door will come down. It might take you longer, but the door will come down. So at the end of the day, that persistence, that resilience, I found to be very important. And that was what kept me. But the most of all was hope. Hope is a weapon. If you take everything away from you, don't let them take your hope away. Don't let life beat you so much that you lose hope. A hopeless man is a ticking time bomb. You have hope you're living for something. You think that it can work. When you wake up in the morning, you know what's so funny? Is that when you wake up in the morning, you actually hoped. When you slept at night, you hoped to wake up in the morning. You don't have any magic. You don't do nothing. You just hold down in the morning and wake up. When you rise from your bed, you hope that your spine will straighten up. When you take your legs and you move from your bed to the floor, you hope that when you get up, your feet will move. It was hope. So it's all about that hope. When you now strategically use it as a weapon, then you can take risks, hoping that it will bring you result.
Wow. Aside from what you did, because everything you've talked about is what you did, what was from your inside, and was there any external power and application? Did you pray?
Okay, all right.
Was God involved?
All right.
Was it just
so brilliant. Now, at the age of 14, when I talk about all of these things, I also found God at the same time.
Wow.
And so, and I'm sure you're asking that question because you know that I always talk about God.
Yeah.
And so that's always important to me. At the risk of sounding cliched or anything, I mean, I'm nothing without God. Like, I pray, I fast, vigils, worship. I serve God.
Nice.
You know, I serve God. I mean, I'm not perfect. I struggle.
Yeah.
The same way Paul says every day he dies.
Yeah.
You know, I die.
Yeah.
But then, do I serve him? I serve him.
Did that service affect
And
anything?
the more I served God, the more he helped me get those who served me.
Wow.
The more I opened my home to God and allowed him use my space and use my life, the more he opened doors unto me.
Wow.
And so when you don't understand my life, when you see me and say, oh, he's 31 and he's done this, he's done that, he's done this, it's because I serve a God that fetches water in the basket to disgrace the bucket. So I serve a God that does the impossible. So the reason why my life cannot be average is that God needs to show me as a testament.
Amazing.
And so the more that I am doing things that people don't expect me to do, the more you are in awe. And then when I tell you this is all done by God, then you can realize that, oh wow, so I need to know that God, who's doing this? So I'm a moving testament of God's power. At the end of the day, the summary of it all, you know, God is my source. And I encourage everyone starting at a business. There are things you can't see, the things you don't know.
Yeah.
There's the Igbos say something. They say my chi. If you have an Igbo friend, ask him. The Igbos always say my chi. It means my God, the God assigned to me. My own chi is the Almighty God. I don't know any other God in the middle.
Awesome.
You know, but everybody needs to have that God assigned to them, and the big God up there is available. I don't need any intermediary. You know, it's available to be your guide. You know, even though when I make mistakes, it turns them, you know, into progress. It turns them into, you know, good.
Beautiful.
You know, so thank you for asking that question. But indeed, you know, at the end of the day, you would work hard.
Yes.
You know, you seek for
Absolutely.
foresight, for insight, for oversight, for hindsight from man.
Yeah.
But the only person that can give you oversight
Yeah.
is God. He's the one that his eyes are roaming around the head. The only person that can make people favor you, aside from all your capacity, is God, because he's the one that controls the hearts of kings and the hearts of men. So even sometimes you don't deserve it, and you say, God just touch the heart of this
You're
person.
impacting me.
You know, so that's how I operate.
Beautiful.
That's how I operate. I tap into what he said, what his word has said, you know, and his power and his might. Thank
In
you.
closing, how would your dreams that you're living now cause the evolution for this generation? In 1 minute.
Okay, I think for me the most important thing is that I always say to people, we all have to live our dreams as individuals and realize that the revolution is not about one person, the revolution is about all of us.
True.
And that we are all empowered to be soldiers in this generation to cause that change. The problem is that we've been waiting for government all along, and that's how we keep getting into this same type of situation. When we realize that all of us make up government, all of us got to rise up, all of us also be part of this revolution. When you rise, I rise, all of us rise, we'll come together, ground will level, a leader will arise. But that leader will not be a leader of blind men. He will not be a leader of people who have two eyes, because all of us have woken up. Then together a leader has to come, but that leader will not be far ahead. Right now all we're doing, we're all hiding under anybody that we think is, no, that's not what we want to be. Somebody asked me that day and said, oh, all the young people we are building in the future wars, shouldn't we be able to control them? Shouldn't, want to run for election, I shouldn't be able to use them to vote for. I said, no, that's not what you're doing. All we want is an enlightened generation of people who can make better choices for themselves and the country.
Yeah.
And ultimately ground to a level.
Wow, that was deeply impactful, and you don't have any excuses anymore. So if you sit down and look and you don't take the steps that you need to take, even if you pray and fast and you have God, there are still parts that you need to play. That was Adebola Williams of Red Media Africa, and he has just given us so much insight. Once again, it's Eureka Moments, and we're at Live Your Dreams Africa, the 5th edition. Hope you've been inspired.